Alright, people. This is a YouTube thingy, and today my audio, I still haven't figured out my audio, this weird audio. What I have right now, before I get into anything, just to describe my audio, I'm using oh, and by the way, before I get into the audio, and before I get into it, I really want to get into it, just want to say I mounted the camera on the wall. I was going to hold the mirror up to it so you could see it, but obviously we only got 15 minutes to do this one video before we go on to the next. Alright, so it's up there. I'm using the same micro cassette recorder microphone, which is a small condenser mic. That's the built-in mic that's in a micro recorder that didn't used to work, but I fixed it. Well, it fixed itself after I opened it up and did some. So, anyways, it has a headset jack that I got a little converter piece that converts it to a regular headphone jack, and then I have a cord, one of those cords that converts that into audio video plugs that I plug into my sampler because it's mono, and through the sampler I split it so it's stereo, and then I plug the sampler through the line in to the audio input to the USB device that I use to capture the audio, which I also plug in the audio cord from the camera too, which also has its the video cord for the camera, but also it does have an audio cord. But since I'm doing stereo, I'm using up the two plugs. So later on I'll switch it so you can hear what it sounds like. Obviously you can't see me. Hold on. You may not be able to hear me so good. Oh, by the way, you probably have to have your volume all the way up for all my videos until I can figure out my audio. I think it's my sound card. If I really drive the sound to make it really, put it through a bunch of amplifiers and stuff, it will actually amplify it, but for some reason the sound card won't take any sound. It has to be like a very clear sound. It doesn't, like when I do amplified sound, I get this really high pitched squeaking sound. So I'm thinking it's the sound card, and there's nothing I can really do. But maybe there's some tricks. If I play a radio, for instance, and I could turn up the volume, that works. Inputs that are clear really work, but for some reason I could always record them on tape and then play back the tapes and stuff, but I don't have to do that. I said I'm done with the whole point in the computer is that I don't have to use tapes. I hate tapes and VHS micro tapes and cassette tapes, the main ones I use. I also dabbled in 8-tracks a little bit. Anyways, hold on so you can see me. Hold on. First, obviously, taking off my jacket to get a little bit, so I'm not wearing the same jacket in all my videos. Y'all think I'm like crazy. My room's gonna look a little bit messy, but okay. So what are we doing? Well, you can probably see me by now. I don't know if you can still hear me. What? Okay, now you can probably see me. That's where the camera is, usually, but it comes off. And, well, this part is on backwards. Okay, so that's just the thingy, and it's kind of bright in here, which is why I'm looking weird. So, hold on. I also lost a lot of weight because I had to fast for this blood work that I got done yesterday. Actually, I don't know if this is better at all. But I decided, people, to not worry so much about my weight. Because I'm usually lose weight really easy, and I have a lot of trouble putting on weight. So, here is me. I'm hanging out. It's my room. Oh, so we're only 5 minutes into it. I just wanted to say that last night I was getting harassed, really not harassed so much, but this dude was
had his guitar on, it seemed like doing everything to make as much noise as he possibly could, and people always do that. People, for every place I've lived for the past few years or couple years, in general, people seem to, they don't like that I stay in my room. Like, I'm already paying them for the room, and yet they think they're gonna control how often I come out or whatever. So they go, like, every so often they'll get this really mean look on their face, and or at least I imagine that they're having this mean look, because I've seen them have this mean look. And anyways, they figure, I don't know why some people do this, but they go and then they make as much noise as they possibly can. They'll turn on, for people, usually it's with radios and speakers, obviously. It's not just like, sometimes it's been yelling, breaking things, throwing things, mostly yelling, and actually just as much using loudspeakers. I don't know if you can even hear me. Using loudspeakers. Huh. So yeah. Why do I get so good angles? Anyways, so the thing is that basically that tonight he might do that again. Anyway, so he has this amp, and you put it on his guitar and his thing at his drum machine and his guitars just for like an hour straight. Just had it on. I mean, not just so he could hear it, and not so just I could hear it, but just like aggressively loud. And then he came up with the vacuum cleaner. And then right after he's done on the guitar, came up with the vacuum cleaner, and right outside my door started like scraping it along the walls, and like just doing obnoxiously loud. And then he went right after that. Then he went in his room, and started. I don't know what he was ranting about, but he was just being really loud in there. So, I mean, people don't just be loud. I mean, he was obviously. To me, it was obvious that he was trying to send some kind of message that he's upset or something, and I don't do this passive stuff. I don't take hints or, play games, so I'm completely wouldn't respond to it. And, if he really has something to say, well, then he'll say it, and we'll wait on that. But I'm just saying that later on, he may come in here or say something to me or do that again. So if he does it again, I just want to turn on the camera and have audio working so I can record that, because most people don't believe me when I tell them like what goes on, or even if they do, they don't know quite what it's like. So thank God I have this camera and it's firsthand. So basically, this camera will be recording security. If I go out for long periods, I've not been smart enough to actually hook it up properly and do it like I should, which would mean hooking up to the VCR and using the same tape, just recording over it. And I have a big stack of tapes that I soon won't need, and then I'll just record over those same 4 or 5 tapes as many times as it'll let me. So and by I mean the tapes themselves. I'm being metaphoric, of course. If the tapes, if I'm getting a poor quality from the tapes, then I'll switch tapes. But I'm not going to be uploading them per se unless there's anything really interesting. I would like to do that constantly, but YouTube, I believe, does have a limit, to a daily limit. I've uploaded mass amounts of stuff. And by the way, they let me upload 20-minute videos. I already went through that. They let me upload 20-minute videos at one point, 20 plus, and even a 40-minute one that was actually an hour one that they cut. And videos do get cut sometimes for no fault of YouTube in particular, but they actually get trimmed in the coding process. So, which I'm not completely sure how, but but it happens and stuff. So that's that, and we'll see today in about 3 or 4 hours exactly what this dude's deal is, and that's Friday. And let's see, I believe Monday was a holiday, and then he didn't go to work Wednesday. So this is like only the second day, or the third day, Tuesday, Thursday, and yeah, it's only been a couple days. But yesterday I was out most of the day, so I didn't even get a chance, or like half the day, getting this blood work. I don't know if you can see my arm. Oh, I took the bandage off. Anyways, so basically that's the deal, and I had to fast for it. I couldn't eat, so-called fast, and not eat for they said 10 hours, but yeah, it was really not fun. And then today is Friday, so when he comes home, he's gonna be home for the weekend, which means he's gonna talk to me, which I don't particularly like. He's trying to get me to buy cable, which I don't have money for, because I need it for food and stuff, so I'm not going to get cable. He mentioned doing yard work for money. I'm thinking that that's gonna be a scam. So, because if I ask how much, then I'm pretty much committed to doing it. Because if he says $5 or something, and then I say no, there'll be an argument about how much money. So I'm just gonna probably say no right off the bat. Probably. I might rake leaves or do something simple, but I'm not going to be like doing work. And I might even say no to any work just because, I already pay rent. You know what I mean? Even if he says money off my rent, was it $5? You know what I mean? I might do it for $5. I don't know, but that's really cheap to me. Anyways, so I wake up and my throat hurts, and my doctor refused. This new doctor, refused to send me to a biopsy, so now I have to call the Joint Commission of the Executive Office of Health and Human Services of the Joint Commission of Accreditation of the blah blah blah. So we'll see what happens with that. I have to learn about all these rights and just, lawyers and stuff. Not that I could afford one, but I would be willing to go to court appointed one if necessary, to take them to court if necessary. And if anything, just to get a doctor that will approve this. Meanwhile, I have to see a bunch of specialist doctors, a few anyways. So it's not very fun, and hopefully I get better, and I'll be back with the next video.